Frederick Nathaniel Toots Hibbert's legacy is written into the heartbeat of Jamaican music. Long before reggae became a global language, before it carried the weight of resistance, joy, faith, and survival across oceans, Toots was already shaping its sound with a voice that felt older than time, raw, gospel-soaked, and uncontainable. Yet his greatness did not rise from ease. It was forged through loss, poverty, injustice, and relentless endurance. Every shout in his singing carried the echo of a boy who had buried both parents before adolescence, a man who survived prison, betrayal, and physical injury, and an artist who spent decades fighting to own what his voice created. Born on December 8, 1942 in Maypen, Clarendon, Toots entered the world in a strictly religious household. His parents were Seventh-day Adventist preachers, people of discipline and faith. His father was also a landowner and businessman, while his mother balanced her calling as a nurse and midwife. Their home was orderly, God-fearing, and structured, but it was also filled with song. Hymns weren't background noise, they were daily practice, woven into family life. That foundation shattered early. When Toots was just 8 years old, his mother died. 3 years later, his father followed. By the age of 11, the youngest child in a very large family, variously described as 7, 8, or even 14 siblings, Toots was an orphan. The security of Maypen disappeared, replaced by the harsh uncertainty of survival. He was sent to Trenchtown, Kingston, to live with his older brother, John. Trenchtown was a different world. Where Maypen had dirt roads and church bells, Trenchtown was crowded, loud, and unforgiving. Music floated through zinc fences and narrow lanes, but so did hunger and hardship. It was here that the nickname given to him in infancy, Little Toots, began to take on weight. The small boy with the big voice was now expected to grow up fast. His formal education ended almost as abruptly as his childhood. Before his parents died, school had already revealed something extraordinary. In Maypen, students were required to sing each morning, and Toots's voice stood out immediately. One teacher told him he had the best voice in the school. That moment mattered. Even as he walked miles along rough dirt roads just to attend class, a dream was quietly forming. But grief interrupted everything. After becoming orphaned, school was no longer possible. Instead, Toots learned a trade. As a teenager in Kingston, he worked as a barber, cutting hair by day and singing whenever the chance arose. The barber shop became his classroom, his stage, and eventually his doorway into history. Customers would stop talking when he sang. His voice, full-bodied, urgent, and deeply soulful, didn't sound like a boy's. It sounded like testimony. It was there that Jerry Mathias and Raleigh Gordon heard him. Drawn by instinct, the three young men came together, and in 1962, the same year Jamaica gained independence, they formed the Maytals. The timing was no accident. Jamaica was searching for its own sound, and Toots's voice carried African-American soul, Caribbean rhythm, and gospel fire all at once. The Maytals recorded at Studio One under producer Clement Coxon God, quickly becoming hitmakers, but success did not protect Toots from injustice. In 1966, at the height of the band's early rise, he was arrested and sentenced to 18 months in prison for marijuana possession. Toots always insisted he was framed, possibly by someone trying to sabotage his career and prevent international touring. Prison could have broken him. Instead, it became fuel. When he emerged, he turned his incarceration into music, transforming pain into defiance with 5446, That's My Number, named after his actual prison ID. The song didn't just revive his career, it immortalized his survival. 2 years later, in 1968, Toots unknowingly changed music history again. With the release of Do the Reggae, he introduced the word reggae to the world. What began as a dance instruction became the name of a genre, and Toots Hibbert stood at its center. International recognition followed, especially after Pressure Drop appeared on the soundtrack of The Harder They Come in 1972. His voice now reached far beyond Jamaica, sounding in cinemas, radios, and concert halls worldwide. By 1980, the Maytals set a Guinness World Record when their live album at London's Hammersmith Palais was recorded and released in under 24 hours, a testament to their relentless touring and global demand. When the original Maytals disbanded in 1981, Toots did not slow down. He transitioned into a powerful solo career, earning a Grammy nomination for Toots in Memphis in 1988. His voice, often compared to Otis Redding, only deepened with age, gaining grit, authority, and emotional weight. In 2005, he won his first Grammy Award for True Love, followed by a second posthumous win in 2021 for Gotta Be Tough. Behind the scenes, his life was remarkably stable. Toots married his childhood sweetheart, Toots Hibbert, when he was about 18 years old. Their marriage lasted nearly 40 years, grounded in loyalty and devotion. Many of his early love songs, It's You and Never You Change, were written for her, reflections of a man whose public fire was matched by private tenderness. Together, they raised 8 children. Several followed him into music, including Leba Hibbert, Junior Toots, and Genevieve Hibbert. Despite constant touring, Toots was known as a deeply present father, using his success to support not just his immediate family, but extended relatives and community members back home. Financial success, however, came with battles. Though his net worth was estimated at $10 million at the time of his death, Toots often spoke openly about being underpaid during his early career. Legal disputes followed him well into later life, including a $1.25 million lawsuit in 2013 over management and rights issues. That same year, tragedy struck again. While performing in Richmond, Virginia, Toots was hit in the head with a vodka bottle thrown from the audience. The injury caused a concussion and reportedly altered his personality, forcing him into a 3-year hiatus from performing. A $20 million lawsuit followed and was eventually settled in 2016. Even after his death, legal struggles persisted. His estate became involved in trademark and copyright disputes, including battles over the Maytals name and unreleased recordings stored on contested hard drives. Despite this, his family retained ownership of his legacy and continues to honor it through tribute tours and careful stewardship of his catalog. Toots Hibbert died on September 11, 2020, at University Hospital of the West Indies in Kingston. He was 77 years old, placed in a medically induced coma while battling complications from COVID-19. His passing came only weeks after releasing Gotta Be Tough and days after participating in a national songwriting competition, working, creating, and giving until the very end. In the end, Toots Hibbert was more than a singer. He was a survivor who sang like a preacher, a pioneer who named a genre, and a man whose voice carried the weight of faith, suffering, joy, and resistance. Reggae did not just pass through him, it was born in his breath.